Because of this way of life, I've been able to create some amazing situations in my life. And just as one example, I was at work and talking to my boss and just got this prompting to lean forward to make a point, and a very heavy grate fell from the ceiling and hit the back of my chair with the point of it.
This is what we mean when we say your inner being is always with you and has broader view about everything and knows in every moment where you are in relationship to everything that matters to you. And when you are in sync with who you are so that those impulses are flowing through you easily. Esther likes to watch the birds because often a bird will make an entrance into her experience in a dramatic way, like dive bombing into the swimming pool or something unusual, not characteristic to this bird, but he's making some point. And Esther knows that this bird has received this pure impulse from non-physical to punctuate something that Esther's got going on in her life or in her mind at the moment. And so, yes, when you are tuned in, when you are feeling good, and therefore you're not having to think about whether you should lean forward, the impulse just comes and you do. Oh, this is really what we're talking about. That's that sweet spot where you are able to receive that broader perspective. Some years ago, Jerry and Esther moved to Texas. They had not been there long. And they discovered that there are some, what the Texans call true gully washers that come through, big rains that come, and the rivers rise, and often there is flooding around or near the rivers, and sometimes beyond. And so Jerry and Esther had left their property to go into this little town of Bernie to collect their mail. And they couldn't get to the post office because the Cibolo Creek had overrun its banks, and the post office was surrounded. There was no way to get into it. So they immediately called their friend, Pat and Lawrence, who lived in San Antonio, which was downstream from Bernie, because the Cibolo Creek went right through the 1,000 acres of property that they had in San Antonio. And Esther said, Cibolo's over its banks here and undoubtedly headed your way. And they said, thanks so much. And they moved their tractors and their cattle from the field that was prone to flooding. And then Pat called back and said, it is so nice to have a friend upstream. And that's what we want you to know you have with your source energy bird's eye view about everything. In other words, not only understanding who you really are and what you're wanting, but where you stand right now in relationship to it. And this is the most important thing that you'll hear from us. Understanding what the path of least resistance is to get you from where you are to where you want to be without a grate stuck in your head. From where you are to where you want to be. And the important thing that we want to say about that path of least resistance is you have put all the resistance on your path, not knowing that you're doing it, of course, but by forming beliefs that get in the way, beliefs of unworthiness, or beliefs that something is difficult, or beliefs that you're not capable, or beliefs that you are vulnerable, or beliefs that there are all kinds of things that are fostered in your environment. And your parents, bless their hearts, well-meaning beings that they are, put a lot of those fear in you to try to contain you. And so as you have these pieces of resistance on your trail, your inner being is not condemning you for the resistance being there. Your inner being is just understanding where you are and where you want to be and what resistant pieces you have, and knows how to guide you around them. And so your inner being wasn't tugging on your shoulder and saying, hey, listen to me, get out your notebook, write down these words, the sky is going to fall right now. There wasn't time for that. Instead, you just were offered an impulse of knowledge, and you were the receiver of it, the pure receiver of it. A lot of people aren't. A lot of people get hit in the head because they're worried about this, and they're worried about this, and they're worried about this. But it isn't because guidance isn't being offered. It isn't because the revelation isn't there. It's that you're not in the receptive mode of it because you're in the receptive mode of something else. You can't be in the receptive mode of joyful things and the receptive mode of negative, unpleasant things at the same time. You've got your tuner set where you've got your tuner set, you see. So clearly, your tuner was set in sync with who you are, and the impulse just flowed. And that's the way it is all day, every day. You are all so guided and you know it. Things like that happen all the time to all of you. You're zigging and zagging into well-being over and over and over again. And just because occasionally you get caught out of sync doesn't mean anything, that you're just not paying attention to what you're doing. We like to lovingly call it sloppy thinking. Not paying attention to the way you feel. Yeah.
So I enjoy being physical. A lot of things about physicality I do like.
Yes, indeed. It's where all the sensual, see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it stuff is. And it's also where you get to witness universal forces converging and congealing for you.
Right.
These are good times.
So on my physical path, I made a little bit of resistance for myself, which is okay.
Which is perfectly normal, and otherwise you wouldn't be here.
Yes. I want to talk about, I understand that I sift through the contrast of life and I choose my preferences on what I want.
Can't help it, can you?
What's that?
Can't help it.
I cannot. But I feel like I understand that I just make my preference and I let the universe bring it to me.
Yeah, if you're smart.
Yeah, this is the problem.
Get out of your own way. Mind your own business, which isn't your business.
So I just want to talk about how, I let the universe bring it to me versus feel like I have to physically make it happen.
Well, it's fun when you're feeling really good to think about what you want and why you want it and to imagine it coming about, because that way you are bringing pleasure to yourself in your now as you think about things that are important to you. And the more detailed that you become when you're feeling good, then not only the more fun it is, but the faster the energy moves and the more hands-on feeling you have, the more your own hands in your own clay. But if you're really actually worried about it or only hoping for it, and there's still doubt laced in your vibration, then the more you talk about it, the more you shoot yourself in your own foot, because you're actually contributing to the vibration that exists rather than the vibration that you're reaching for. The best way to understand that is every subject really is like a stick with two ends on it. And one end of it is what you want, and the other end of it is the absence of what you want. For example, if you're thinking about more money, we bring that up often because it's a common intention among most humans. So as you're wanting more money and you're thinking about more money, but it makes you feel worried, or it makes you feel envious, or it makes you feel angry, or it makes you feel blameful, then the more you're thinking about it, the more you are not working for your own cause. It's the conversation that we just had with our friend about still be beating the drum of the problem rather than being in vibrational sync with the solution. Yeah.
So I guess that in my physical life, sometimes I feel like it's almost cheating, like I can't just let the universe bring it to me, pet my dog. And
well, that's a belief that you do well to work your way out of. Because that belief says, I'm not worthy and I have to earn through my hard work and action. And what the laws of the universe are saying is, line up with it and it's yours.
Yeah.
In other words, it is as simple as tuning your radio dial to the station that you want to hear. Esther and her friend were coming from the airport, and a driver, really a nice guy, having such a good time. He was enjoying the beautiful day on Friday afternoon when they flew in. And he said to them, do you have Bluetooth on your phone? And Esther said, yes. Can I be the DJ? And so he tried to set his radio so that Esther's Bluetooth could hook into it so that she could play the songs on her phone. But the screen said, cannot happen while vehicle is moving. He pulled off on the side of the road to make it possible for Esther to play her music through the phone. It was exhilarating to watch technology line up with what Esther was choosing. So she'd play a song until everyone had received the high from it, and then she'd play another one. She didn't play a whole song all the way through. She just kept playing a song until it got to the best part, and then she'd play another song until it got to the best part, and then she'd play another song until it got to the best part. And many of the songs she was playing, he had never heard before. She couldn't believe it. How can you not know all of my favorite songs? They didn't want to get out of the car. He said, can we just drive around for a while? They came to the hotel, and they all said, oh. Of course, the point that we're making is that when you set your radio dial, what's there is there. And there is no one that comes on and says, You haven't suffered long enough. Listen to more songs you don't like. You have to listen to 10 songs you don't like. There must be a song struggle. And then we'll give you a little bit of the song that you like to hear. There's nothing like that. Just line up with what you want, and the universe delivers, not only delivers it to you quickly, but delivers it to you through the path of least resistance that is the most satisfying path that you've ever experienced. Good thing after good thing after good thing after good thing after good thing coming to you because you deserve good things. Where do you get this stuff? Who has pinched you off from your sense of worthiness? Someone with shortage consciousness about the good stuff. Someone who thinks the pie is only this big, and if you get too much of it, you'll deprive them of it. Sure. And we say, do you ever say, oh, I've been well for so long, and all those sick people, I think I'll be sick for a while. I'll be sick for the month of June to allow more people who ordinarily would be sick to be well. You don't say that. Because you know that you're not depriving anyone of wellness, and you're not deprived by being well, and you're not depriving anybody of clarity by being clear-minded. You're not depriving anyone of anything by tuning in, you see. But there are those who don't know that, who convinced you that you should not be selfish. They accuse us. Abraham, you teach selfishness. We say, guilty as charged. We do. If you're not selfish enough to care about how you feel, then you're not going to tune into the resources that are already earmarked for you. You should see your vortex. If you want to feel worthy, if you want to know, oh, we would like so much if you could peer into this vortex and understand all the good stuff that you've put there since you were born into this body and even before, how it's all there encoded with the vibrational DNA of that which is you, all queued up for you, just waiting for you to get into that sweet spot so that you can lean forward and not get conked on the head with something. Yes. To get in that sweet spot where you have the sensation of what to do and when to do it.
That's actually perfect, and I'm going to use that. My other question is, so, I believe that, I've heard that Earth is like a master class, because as infinite intelligence, we chose to come to Earth knowing that we were going to forget who we actually were in order to remind ourselves and work our way back towards that.
Part of what you're saying is true in that you don't remember before, because you don't need the clutter of all of that, because from the lives that you lived before, you've created a vortex that always remembers. And when you get in sync with who you are, you always remember. Do you want to have all of the conversations that you've ever had in this lifetime today with us? Would that even be possible? Would you like to try to cram that in to this poignant moment in time? Or is it enough that you've had them, you've evolved, you've become, and now here you are having this conversation? And so, of course, all that you've ever been before is active and vibrant. When you reemerge into non-physical, you leave behind all doubt and fear, and you take with you all that you are. That's who you are, you see. And now, all you must do, all you have to do, is just find vibrational sync with that, and everything that is important for you to remember about who you are is there. It is enough from all that you've lived to remember that you're worthy. So when you call Earth a master class, we take issue with it in this sense. You have not been sent here to learn, and you've not been sent here to redeem, and you've not been sent here for any reason. You've come for the joy of expansion. That's all. You've come for the joy, the never-ending expansion. You've come for the joyous, never-ending expansion. You haven't come to remember what you've forgotten. You've come to sync up with what you know, but that's far different than being demanded to remember what you've forgotten. Can you feel the difference? When you sync up with who you are, our friend, how do you think she knew that the grate from the ceiling was going to fall? Is that something that she needed to remember? Oh, I have to remember everything that fell on me in every past life. What were the circumstances? I must remember. Where was I? Did I have the spear, or did he have the spear? Who had the spear? Who set who on fire? I don't remember how it went. Did I fall in a big hole, or did a tree fall on me? I can't remember. I can't remember these things. It's not like that at all. You get tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and in your powerful now, and your inner being knows where you stand in relationship to all else and gives you guidance, you see. It's not a master class. It's a master tuning, a master aligning. It's being the master. It's having the enlightenment. It's being in sync with that knowing, you see.
That's awesome.